from Santa Cruz County Office of Ed. And hey, Steph, I'm Tawny Reinhardt from SCOE. Actually, that is confusing because we're all from SCOEs if you think about it, but I'm from Sacramento County Office of Ed. And this is just a huge joy for us to bring you EdTech Playgrounds for the last couple of years. So as you're getting settled in and getting ready for tonight, I mean, if you're still signing in, no worries. But go ahead and put yourself on our EdTech Playground map if you haven't done that before. I think we're going to drop the link into the chat right now. This is just a really cool way to see where our community reaches. We've got some national, pin drops across the states. We've even had a couple international pin drops, so that's really cool. But really love just seeing that California representation on our map as well. All right. So here's our agenda today. We're in the middle of our welcome and introduction. And then Steph and I are going to introduce all of our speakers for tonight. And then we'll do some 24-25 wrap up for the school year and talk a little bit about our thoughts for next year and how you can stay informed about our EdTech Playgrounds for the 25-26 school year. Whew! I can't even believe it's already here, the end of the year. Okay, so tonight we have six wonderful classroom teachers who have the context and the experience and the expertise with some EdTech tools that they're going to bring to you tonight. So I'm not going to read all of their names right now because Steph and I are going to do some pretty fun introductions. But just so you know, here are some of the tools we're going to look at tonight: Adobe Express, Padlet, quizzes, Google Forms, digital escape rooms. Those are amazing. Blooket, and AI-infused brain breaks. So, without further ado, we are going to start with Anne. So, Anne, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And we're going to give her a couple minutes to just get set up. And while she's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Anne Wren. She is a fifth grade teacher at Patton Elementary, GGUSD. She loves tech and learning because she loves to see the potential in her kids, and she loves knowing that she's setting them up for their future, and many of our EdTech tools can help with that. Wonderful. All right, Anne, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. So 10 minutes, it's real short. And you know, what's crazy is this tool that I'm about to tell you about, I can talk for about 6 hours on because there is so much to it. But with 10 minutes, I have to take the time to show you some of the guided activities. For those of you who know what Adobe Express is, I'm sure you know it's a graphic design tool, and it is free for everyone in education, K-12 education. You just have to set it up. So you can work with the Adobe team and they will get you all set up. Once you have it, you have all these premium features. And I wanted to show you how, for those of you, many of you are EdTech pros, so getting up and running in a program is really easy for you. But for those of you who have colleagues around you who are hesitant, who are nervous, Adobe has these wonderful scaffolds for teachers, and they don't feel like scaffolds because they look like wonderful guided activities. So when you come in and you have Adobe Express for Education, this is the homepage. And in this homepage here, you will find a few resources here on the left-hand side. What I want to guide you to is the educator resources right here. Now, if we were to scroll through our homepage, you're going to find some of the guided activities that I was talking about. But if you go to these educator resources, you're going to find everything. This is everything that you want to see here. These are all guided activities that you can have, and it will guide your students through every single lesson, every step of the way. And I want to kind of show off one of my favorites. And I started using this particular tool before we had the guided activities. I was using it in Adobe before they had the guided activities. So the one that I like, and you can see they release a new one just about every month. But this one right here was one that I went to. They released it in, I think, October of last year. And it is basically how to design an action figure. So when you click on the little card or the little activity, it gives you a template. All of this is here for you. And if you notice here on the bottom on the right-hand side, there's a little tutorial that takes students through this feature and how to edit it and how to move it and how to personalize it and make it your own. Well, I did this activity before they created the guided activity, so I had to teach my kids on my own, but now you don't have to do that. You can just use one of these. And what I love about this is a template for your content. So I took this little action figure card and I have already used it twice this year with my students. Once I used it to create digital citizenship cards. So I had my kids create these trading cards of themselves as digital citizenship superheroes. And we did this during Digital Citizenship Month in October, where they talked about themselves and we talked about a series of skills that they could have as superheroes. And then they used the guided activity to create their little superhero. And they even, if you notice in each of their hands, they have something that's tech related that they can be using to show off their skills. And I love how cute they are and how adorable they look. And I shared this, and it's such a quick way to get your kids designing. The really awesome part about this is that they are actually using the AI generation tool to create these little dolls, but they are the AI generation tool is scaffolded in a way that the prompt is already written for them. And all they have to do is go in and change the prompt. So let me go back to that window so that I can kind of show you what the prompts look like. So if I'm in here and here's my card, I just click on the image and it tells you this in the video. I'm giving you the very brief tour. So it tells you all of this stuff in the little video. But if you click on the image and click over here on generate image, it will show you the prompt. And the kids, all they have to do is go in there and change little things here and there. So female cute doll with brown eyes and chin length black hair. I want to do brown eyes and long black hair. The doll has big brown eyes, a blue shirt, and blue jeans with pink shoes and pink glasses. The doll is holding a cell phone. Okay. And then it will generate a new image right in that spot. So the kids don't have to worry about formatting anything and changing anything around or moving things. And you can make it however scaffolded you want it to. So you can change it and make it, I know it's so cute, right? You can make it as complex. You know, I told my kids that they had to have a skill up here, and then I told them that they had to have a different name, and then they had to have like their HP right there. So for their digital citizenship trading card, I had that list of prerequisites. So we use the same exact template to create for the Day of the Teacher. Here in California, we're celebrating the Day of the Teacher. And we went around and created a trading card for each of our favorite teachers. And I had them create a cute little their and then the teacher's HP, because my kids are very interested in Pokemon right now. So the kids, the HP is the number of years they've been teaching. We have a teacher here who's about to retire. This is her last year. And so the kids were so excited. They were like, she's got the highest HP. And I was like, yeah, she does. Like, she earned that. So, you know, it's one of those things where you can really use this for any content area, and all of their guided activities. I did this one here with this self-portrait. I did it with 6-word memoirs. So I had them create a self-portrait, and they created 6-word memoirs, and we put them up for open house. They're so beautiful. It was a 30-minute lesson. The hardest part was generating the AI, and they were able to do it because the STEM is already in there for them. So then I had them do this one for their future careers, for the 100th day, because in 5th grade, it's the 100th day, but it's also the 1000th day of school for them. So I told them, you know what are you going to be? What are you going to do for, 100? And so they AI generated themselves in the future doing what they think. Many of my kids are like soccer program owners. Many of them have like, houses in the sun. So it's been a really great way of just kind of showcasing some of the great stuff that we do. And all of these templates are here for you to kind of take and use with how you want to use it. Adobe has so many other things. I could go on forever, but I really like how easy it is to get up and running with Adobe with these guided activities. It is just one of those things that when you are hesitant or you're nervous about AI generation or about changing things around or about accidentally messing something up, it can be something that's super quick and super, super easy to use. Um, okay, so 10 team, my my time was supposed to start at 3:40. I'm looking at the clock and it's only 3:42. I am happy to keep going, but I will.
And that's totally my fault. I started us early, and
Oh,
so we were just chatting about that in the background. If you want to take a couple more minutes, like maybe one more minute, and kind of wrap up your final thoughts, so you're just not cutting off, and then we'll switch over to our next one.
Um, I just want to highlight one other thing that has been taking my classroom by storm, and it's the animate with audio feature. When Flip left the playing field, they left a giant hole where our students don't really have that opportunity to express. But one of the things about Flip that was difficult for our students is that they had their cameras up. So in Adobe, you have this animate your voice character option where you can create a character and you can have the students speak and tell stories and create an audio, and the AI will take that cartoon image and it will match it up with the lips and the movement and even the facial expressions. Like if you're sad and you're using something and you're saying something sad, the little cartoon will just kind of frown and kind of the shoulders will be hunched over. And it's such a great way when you use that animate your with audio feature, you're allowing students to speak. Last year we had students create a digital or a paper pencil arrowhead for the national parks, and then we put that as the background and we had them pick an animated character to talk about their animated or their drawing, and it was just such a great way for them to present, for them to feel comfortable presenting, for them to practice those communication skills. So again, I can talk for hours on end about Adobe Express because I'm just madly in love with the program. It does so much, and it does so much for our kids in such an engaging and quick way. I call it secret learning, and they don't even know it because they're having so much fun. And the products, you put them up at open house and parents go crazy. It's awesome.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Anne. You have sparked so much conversation in the chat. A lot of fellow six-word memoir fans. It sounds like those are going to be plugged later on in Gloria and Desiree's presentation as well. And what I love about what you shared was that this one activity, there were so many ideas generated in the chat for extensions or ways to use it in different content areas. Someone shared, like you described, this idea of having students generate an image of them in their future careers. Loved your idea of how you made them for teacher appreciation and use the HP as their years teaching. So many people really connected. And we had Monica signed up for Adobe Express during your presentation. So thank you so much for plugging and sharing that it's available for teachers for free. So thank you so much, Anne. We appreciate it. If you have any questions for Anne, please feel free to put them in the chat. And we're going to turn it over to our next presenter. So I am so happy to introduce Kelly Baker. I'm going to give her a moment to get her screen sharing going. And while she does that, I'm going to introduce her so that you have a little bit of information about Kelly. So Kelly is a third grade teacher at Eastwood Elementary in Norwalk, La Mirada. She loves using tech in her classroom because it allows students to be more creative. It supports students who need accommodations, and because it makes work more engaging. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Kelly, who's going to be sharing Padlet with us.
My mic on. Hi. So before I move into Padlet, I'm going to share the Padlet link with everybody so that or the Canva link for the presentation. I know we only had 10 minutes, and what I did was I made videos of how to make all the Padlets so that you can grab those and use them later. So just to get that started so you have that for later. So talking about, oopsie. talking about Padlet. I'm a big EduProtocols fan. This is my first year back in the classroom after 10 years where I was a tech coach, and I really latched on to EduProtocols. But my third graders have iPads, and so a lot of the stuff that we do in EduProtocols, it's very Google heavy, and the iPads and the Google, I mean, they work together, but it's kind of like Godzilla and King Kong. They both fight each other rather than it working seamlessly. And so what I have found is that Padlet really is a nice bridge between the two of them, or between, you know, to do the things in EduProtocols, but to do them in a way that's more device agnostic. And so I'm going to show you, and actually we're going to do a couple of the EduProtocols. So the first then, I'm sure many of you have used Padlet before, but basically what it is, it's like a collaborative space where students can post images and texts and links. And it is also very similar to Flip, that they can record a video. There's just a ton of features deep inside it that that allows students to add so many different types of files to their products. I think most of you are familiar with EduProtocols, but if you're not, it's basically a set of templates that are frames that teachers use to promote student thinking. They can be implemented in many different ways across the content, but the idea is that students get multiple reps of doing the same task, but with different content. And by doing the same task repetitively, but with different content, they actually improve their work, because they're not having the cognitive load of having to learn the task and having to learn the content at the same time. So I can say, like I did today, we're going to be making an Iron Chef, and the kids go, "Yay, Iron Chef!" And then they know exactly what they need to do. And then I handed them some information about planets, and we're off and running, because they already understand how that protocol works. So the first one that we're going to do is something called thin slides. And what thin slides are, it's a quick way to do some vocabulary building. And so it's basically, you only give them 10 minutes, actually 5 minutes. You get one image, you find one image, you're going to put in one phrase or one word, and then each child gets to speak. This one says for 1 minute, but I usually put them at under 30 seconds. This whole thing should take about 30 minutes. And so we're going to actually do that. So if you want, go ahead and click on that link to the thin slide. I'm going to click on it now too. And it's going to take us to the most disgusting sandwich. And here's what I'm going to ask you to do. You're going to click on the plus, and then it's going to open up a window where you're going to type in your name, and then it's going to AI, this is the only one I've chosen, is AI image generator. So I'm going to type in my name, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly, real quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can't see your slides, so I'm wondering if I have your slides up. Can I share
Oh, yeah.
the screen? So
yes, you can.
Because I really want them to see what you're talking about.
Yep.
All right. Can we see?
After all that work, can you see it? There we go.
All right. And
okay, so click on the link that says thin slide. Thank you for following with me. And why don't you go ahead and click on it too? All right, so if you click on that plus button, it will take you to a window that asks you for your name, and then it says AI image, and this is going to give you the option to type in an image, like type in what you want. And so what I want you to do, I want you to log in, and I want you to type in what you think the most disgusting sandwich would be. I mean, my students were like, tuna fish and gummy bear sandwich. Okay, and then what it'll do is it'll generate a picture of it, And then down below, I'd like you to use a phrase to describe your sandwich. I'm going to give you 1 minute to access the Padlet and to go ahead and practice this. So grab the link, go to the link. And everybody should be making their thin slide right now. And if you don't like your image, you can just hit remove and then do it again. So I'll give you till 3:53. Now, when you're using an Edu protocol, if you haven't done so before, the most important part is to have something that's like a smart start, what they call a smart start. So it's something that has no cognitive load at all. It's just getting them to practice using the tool, because you don't want to have somebody try to use the tool and try to do the content at the same time. You want to have a lower cognitive load for the tool, and then a higher cognitive load once they're doing the content, and vice versa. You never have both that are at that high cognitive load. Look at those really disgusting sandwiches. Aren't those great? Look at that. Nutella, durian, and tuna. Oh my God, that's so gross. Okay, so now I'm going to actually do the whole thing, and I'm going to put it in present mode. And when I'm going to ask Tawny. Tawny, can you put it in present mode, please? And then go ahead and hit the next button. And when your slide comes up, you've got 10 seconds to tell us about your sandwich. Unmute yourself and tell us about your sandwich. Go, Debbie.
Tomatoes are gross, but peanut butter is good. Together, they would not be good. The basil looked pretty, and that sourdough bread, which I think would be really weird with peanut butter, but that's it.
Okay, time's up. Next person, go. Let's go. It's got to be this fast. Go, Gloria. Gloria, unmute.
When the ocean meets the heat, brace your taste buds. Sarchito Supreme. Buy it at your store.
Awesome. Excellent. Next one. Go, Tawny.
Oh, the mic pressure is real. A little sweet and a little seaside.
Awesome. Next one. Erica.
Slugs in your sandwich.
Oh my God, that's so good. I love it. Now, what I really love, go back one, is that she did a great job of capturing the slug sandwich, and I really love that image. So if she had their choices, I love that image. It's really disgusting. Great. Go on to the next one. Carrie.
Peanut butter and fish on the beach getting sand in it.
Oh my God, so good. Debbie. I think we did Debbie's. All right, maybe Debbie had two. Nutella, go ahead. Who's got this one?
Nutella and ranch, one on each
Ugh,
piece of bread, mixed together.
so gross. Okay, one more, and then we'll call this one. Okay, Kelly.
Sorry, it's liverwurst with ketchup and peaches.
I was going to say, that doesn't sound horrible. For me, I mean, I might actually try that one.
It's like sweet, sour, salty. I don't know.
Right? Like, yeah, like you're kind of hitting that Asian sweet, salty, savory. Yep. Excellent job, you guys. All right, so that's thin slides and in a smart start. So how that would look is it would, Tawny, if you go to the end and you go to my examples of the Padlets, click on the one that says weather words. Last slide. Click on weather words. So this is what it looks like in my class. I gave them each a vocabulary word, and they had to research that vocabulary word. So there's drought, there's evaporation, there's climate, there's nimbus clouds. So they had to find an image, and then they had to give some facts very quickly, and then they had to present it. And it's okay. I think I only had 8 or 9 words, but what I had is I had multiple presenting, and so they heard nimbus cloud a couple of times, and that's just fine. Now in this particular activity, I have this was early in the year, and I have a lot of copy paste. So I'm just going to say now I don't allow them to go out to the internet. I actually hand them a sheet so that they have to paraphrase what's happening in the information. But that would be a student example of what thin slides look like. All right, Tawny, let's go back to the presentation. Looks like I've got about another 5 minutes. And then let's move on to the second one. And the second one is Iron Chef. So Iron Chef is one where the students actually do some research. It's a jigsaw, so they learn about, right now my kids are studying planets, and so they would get information about a planet, or you can embed that information in, and then they have 10 minutes to create a slide that has at least 5 facts, an image, and then what we call a secret ingredient. For this particular one, the secret ingredient was how the planet was named. But what's nice about Iron Chef and Padlet, as opposed to Google, is that I can create breakout rooms in Padlet. And so I can assign just a certain set of kids to Mercury, or just a certain set of kids to Mars, and then they're only going to access that column. So what I'd like you to do right now is click on one of the planets. I'm going to just let you choose, but don't everybody choose Mercury. And then go ahead and complete the Padlet for the planets. Okay. And then I think I did not put the planet research one in the slide deck, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it in the oopsie. I'm going to put it in our Canva chat so that Tawny can display that. Okay, there's my chat. Okay, so as you can see, here is each topic, and then wherever you click, you're only going to have access to that column. So this is a great way. This is a great way to do jigsaws. So I'm only going to do the information for this thing. You're only going to do the information for this thing. So go ahead and go to the link in the slide deck. I'll put it in again. And you're on slide 4. Choose one of the planets. And then you don't have to put in any facts, but I'm wanting to show you that you can actually manipulate where kids go on the Padlet. Okay, so you go out to the web. Great job, Tawny. Okay, you would put in 5 facts, and then the secret ingredient. How did it get its name? And then notice that Tawny is only in the Venus part, so she's not seeing anybody else's. So many people don't know, but now on the teacher side, you can see that you can see everybody's. So this is a great way to utilize it with different types of information. And I'm just going to give you, I think we're just about wrapping up. Tawny, if you want me to put me back on my slide deck. Yeah, very cool, right? So on the last slide, I have examples from my own class. So you can see how I did Cyber Sandwich, how I did Iron Chef, Thin Slides, and then I actually have how to do Frere for a friend. I knew I wasn't going to have time for all of it, but I wanted to show you guys some other examples of what you can do with Padlet. I love it because the image generation is easier. It's easier for them to type. And I don't have to worry about people messing with other people's slides like you do in Google Slides. So they're only on their own thing. In each of the slides, I actually have a video on the how to make them and how to access all the different tools. I hope this was helpful, and I'm right at my time.
Awesome, Kelly. That was so much fun. Thanks for letting me drive for you. I got a little nervous at points, but so much fun. I have been a long time Padlet fan, but learned quite a bit of amazing things tonight. Love how you just modeled the different ways to kind of guide students into certain columns and certain research. Putting Padlet and Edge protocols together, we call that app smashing. That is exciting. That's so much fun. And I love that you mentioned that this was a great alternative to Flip, because Flip left a big hole in EdTech when it left. So thank you so much, Kelly, for showing us some really cool ways to play with Padlet. Up next, we are going to have our next speaker. His name is Thon Lay. And Thon, if you want to go ahead and get your screen set up while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and give our audience some background. Okay, so Thon Lay teaches at Montebello High School. He teaches computer science, and he loves tech and learning because it allows him to learn new things and to engage his students in their learning. Additionally, it improves his productivity. Whew, preach there. And my students' achievement. So Thon, the floor is yours.
Right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm just going to present my experience with the Quizy. So I actually run into that. I've been doing that for it's my second year, but this year I actually get into really know it really well because I was and I don't pay for anything. I just kind of try it, and then they take all the courses they offer, and then they finally say, "Oh, you're gonna become part of ambassador." So I can have a try for free this year, all the premium feature. So as a chemistry teacher and a computer science teacher, I'm more concerned about the material rigorous. Can I access them quickly enough so I can see how they actually understand the stuff? So that is what it's about, the Quizy. That's the name Quizy.
Oops, Thon, I'm going to interrupt just for a second that we don't hear your sound. If you want to just reshare and select the box for share sound.
Oh, you hear the sound?
No, we don't hear your sound.
Oh, for that. Okay. So what happened here? Let me share the sound. Oh, got it right here. Thank you. All right. So basically, to be able to get the quiz, anything that I'm teaching into the quiz within 2-3 minutes, and turn it into a game. So the student will say, "Oh, we have to take a quiz again." They actually like it because the quiz is more like a gamified form. They play, they engage, and they're colorful. They're not like the boring worksheet, the print out stuff like that. And so as you can see there, they have different color, they have different style of information. Now, the building of the quizzes is very simple. You have anything that you think is interesting. Let's say you find an article recently in a newspaper about the fire, or you find some curriculum that you want them to read. Instead of saying them to read them, you just pop it into the quizy right here. And it will use AI to generate the question for you. And you can tell how many questions you want to create, what type of question you want to produce, and things like that. Can you hear the sound?
No, we still don't hear your sound. I think if you stop sharing and then when you go to restart.
That's all right. I can talk
Okay.
over it. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, so you have the thing that you don't have to spend hours looking at document and come up to a list of questions and give to the student. The AI will actually read what you gave to them, document, a video, a worksheet, something like that, and it actually give you the questions that you can give to the student. And then, of course, you can also pull out the result from that instantly. So you don't have to spend hours writing the questions or creating the assignment. It will do it for you. Especially if you have a premium version that subscribe at the school, they can actually integrate the data, the score straight into your LMS system. I don't have that, so I had to do it manually. So the quiz that come anywhere. You can from your browser. You have a app right here. You click on it. It come up the quiz, or you can just keep the topic in general, and it does that. It can do a Google slide. You can generate quiz with Google slide, and then you see right there. This is how you do that. You can also add more questions if you feel something missing. You can also read the question and see how they're doing. Is a good question? Is it correct? And then you can change it and you adjust for the grade level, the subject that you're teaching. You can even have in Spanish, in any other languages. I haven't tried other language, but I tried Spanish. And so your EL learner having problem understand English, you can give it to them, and they're able to still learn the academic content in their own language. And you can have the Chrome extension. You can have the extension in the Edge browser as well. And this part right here is when you have a question already there, you can make the question in the different format. And the student, they do AI, they cheating. And so if you give them a multiple choice, then they can also use AI to figure out the answer. So you can actually make them into a little more difficult to get the right answer, like mix and match and so on, writing your answer, field response, something like that. And so here we are. You have assessment. You can create a lesson. You can create an interactive video. You can do a message. You can create a flashcard to have the student to review for their test. So let's say they need a study guide. You say, okay, go to the link right here and create a study guide for Unit 7, something like that. If they do in their assignment, whatever happens to be. So now this part is interesting. Now you found a YouTube video, and you say, "Oh, I got to give my kid this because I just hit the right spot," and it was like exactly on the news and everything, right? You can put there and it generate AI. But I gotta tell you something like this, a disclaimer. It doesn't work anymore because it worked before, and then Google did something. They change it. It's not working. So it's more difficult now. You still can do that. What you do is you get a Google video. You can bypass the best link that you see that, and you go to the Google video and you copy the transcription of it, and you go to passage and you put them in there, and it still gave you the question that you need. So it takes a little bit more extra, I guess, 5 to 10 minutes. You can pull out the information in there. And the same thing you can do with Google Slide. You can put in the image and the video right there. Additionally, there are people that teachers have been using all these programs for a long time. They create some of their assessment, and so you can just borrow them, take a look and see what you have, you search for it, come up for you, and you can actually use them. Like if you're familiar with the app Puzzle, there's something like that, and you can use those reflecting into your quiz and your assessment and so on. And the message is again, you leave the message so they don't just sleep mindlessly finishing it. They have to be able to produce the answer for it. And I like to do this when it comes to doing lab, and they wanted to read the lab manual ahead of time so they don't mess around when they do the actual lab. And so they do that, and that really helped me to get the lab straight out. So, and again, so accommodation, and you have RSP students, some need to have longer time, some can retake the test. You do not have to grade yourself. You can allow them to do that. It's named according to their IEP, and you meet the requirement for the RSP department. So they have the classes where you can take, so you get to use it, and you also get the logo for yourself so thank you, everybody. I got about 20 seconds. I'm going to stop sharing now.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Don. You got a lot of appreciations in the chat, and loved your workaround for how to make that work when there was a sort of a glitch with Google. And you have a question. Is quizzes free?
It's have a free version of that. So yes, you do not have everything that I'm presenting to you, but I use for a long time and no problem. Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right. So if you're just joining us, I noticed that there were a few new people that came in. We're here for our last EdTech Playground of this school year, which feels surreal to say. And for our last EdTech Playground, we're featuring you, our own playground participants. And we have 6 presentations today of people who are sharing their favorite EdTech tip and trick. We have a lot of resources that are being shared, so I want to just let you know to rest assured our facilitation team is working behind the scenes to gather all those links, and we will send them out to you after the fact as well as the recording. So don't worry, if you missed one or you want to go back, we'll have all the information for you. And we're halfway through. We've seen 3 presenters, and now we're heading into our next 3. I learned a fun fact the other day that 10 squats an hour is the same as going for a 10-minute walk an hour. So if anybody needs a break, I recommend challenging yourself to do 10 squats. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to our next presenter, Lauren Fontes. While she gets set up, I have the pleasure of introducing her and giving you a little bit more information about Lauren. She will be sharing with us Google Forms and how to use them to create digital escape rooms, which is something I've been wanting to learn more about, so I'm super excited. Lauren works at Megan Cope Elementary School in San Jacinto Unified School District. She loves incorporating tech into her teaching and students' learning because it opens new pathways and areas of learning for the littlest learners. So she loves showing everyone what even the tiniest of our students can do with tech and finds that to be super inspiring. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Lauren.
Hi, everybody. So as you can imagine, I teach kinder. Most of my career has been in the lower grades. Actually, the highest I've ever taught was 3rd grade. So it's been pretty low the entire time. I've taught kinder, 1st grade. Most of my time was in kinder. The other half of it was in 1st grade. I dabbled in 3rd grade. I said, send me back down. So I came back down. I have done intervention for a couple of years as well. Our district, unfortunately, did cut it. They're bringing it back, but like my heart's in kinder. Love it. So I am teaching escape rooms, and it's titled K2 Can 2. because I'm always going to these conferences and Q and stuff, and it's always like, okay, but can Kinder do it? But can Kinder do it? Can Kinder do it? Can we do it too? And it's always so hard trying to adapt it or trying to figure out how Kinder can do it. So escape rooms, you might, they're still kind of pretty popular, but a couple years back, like, oh my goodness, an escape room. And you're hearing a lot of parents like, we're going to escape rooms, and kids kind of talking about escape rooms. So how can we do that with Google Forms? So I know a lot of people probably have used a Google form or filled out a Google form. Can you just put in the chat, how many of us, how comfortable are we with making a Google form? Like, on a scale of 1 to 5, like 1, like, oh my goodness, I didn't know we can actually make one of those. Like, that's a 1. Or 5, like, please stop talking. I already know what you're going to do right now. Okay, we're all very comfortable with, okay, so I'm going to go really fast. Then, oh, we got a 1. Okay, good. Yay. Maybe this will help you. Someone's a 7. My goodness, a 7. She's off the scale. That's amazing. But don't stop talking. I like that because I like to listen to myself talk. Okay, so let me just get started over here. So as you know, I'm already Lauren Fontes. So today we're just going to explore escape rooms for K2 and how we can use them in the classrooms. So when we do escape rooms, you can use them in all sorts of different ways. And I'm glad that I got to go right after quizzes. So thank you for starting that. You can use it in a very similar way. You can gamify it and it can be a game, but you can also use it like in assessment. So like quizzes, you can gather data, right? So you can use Google Forms to gather data. You could turn it into a quiz. There's a form, there's a checkbox. You can use it as a quiz. But you can also use it as an escape room. You can give your kids a task and you can ask them, hey, like give them a problem. So I'm going to show you a first grade one. This is the one that inspired me to do it. So I ran across this one. It's the missing rhino. Somebody made this. Okay, not me. I did not make this one. I will show you the one I made. So you got to have a password to start this activity. This one is zebra. So, and then it takes you to a whole nother section. So some of you, in case these got lost in the forms, more inside. Yep. Yes, thank you. My slides. Okay, so the missing rhino. Okay, so here's this message. So in Google Forms, most of you are 5s, but for those of you who are 1s and 3s, you can put images. You can drop images in here, and you can put in here text in your image, or you can just type text. You can put in videos. So you can make a clip down here. Here's a video. And there's somebody who made a recording of the video. And it's like this, the rhino has gone missing. We can't find him. Please help us. You got to solve these problems to figure it out. So the teacher who made this kind of made like this decoder, and you have to solve the decoder, and it's really tough for first grade. So this is totally the end of the year, but this isn't really linked to any standards. So if you really wanted to test the students, like link it to a standard, test them on what you're teaching them. This is just a fun activity, just totally fun. Last week of school, whatever you want to do. So they absolutely cannot pass this. So when you create it, you create what the possible answer is going to be. It's short answer, right? So they cannot pass it unless they have it spelled correctly. Cannot do it. So if they put in like stink and don't get the last letter and they try to go next, it won't let you. It just won't. So if they don't have stinky and you're like, what's going on? I see some confused faces. They're solving the decoder here. They're just solving the problem. So the person has uploaded an image and they're solving the problem. So it's just, I'm not going to explain the problem because that's their own escape room here. I'm just kind of explaining the Google form, but they're using a Google form. They're putting the images and putting the problem in, and they're using a short answer format here to get it. But I just want to explain, like in short answer format, you type in what the acceptable answer is in Google form, that will accept it. So once they put in the correct answer, you can click next. If it's correct, it will allow you to go on. So then it's giving you, so the teacher has put in the correct answer here. They solve it. I can't even remember the answer. Anyway, so you keep going on, and then at the end, it's like, you did it, you saved the rhino, good job. So this would take my students probably in first grade, a good 30, 45, some of them, if they took a while, depending on it, because it's like subtraction, addition, they have to use all these things. It could take them 45 minutes to an hour, and they're on task and they're working, and it doesn't let them go on. And it's like self-checking, like you can pull groups and you can test because they are working on it, and they can't move on without it going. Okay. So this is the one so then I took our science curriculum. So that's in here. So someone dropped it in here. The second grade. So then I never taught second, but I took the curriculum for second grade and I put it in here. So what is the password to begin this activity? I think I put it in here, trapped. So you just type it in here, trapped. And then you can start. And then I just put, oh no, there's a large earthquake in California. Everyone is safe, but the governor is trapped in Sacramento, the capital city of California. So I'm just trying to connect it because I know in fourth grade, and stuff. National Guard is going to rescue the governor, but all the maps fell down the cracks during the earthquake and our tech is down. Please help put the map back together so the National Guard can begin their rescue mission. So using STEMscopepedia, quick changes to land, find the name of the volcano that erupted on Hawaii in 1983. So I talked to second grade and I said, hey, what are you guys working on right now? What unit? Because I wanted to connect it to some content. So they told me, hey, we're working on this. So because I had their link, I was able to connect it so with Google Forms, you put the link in, and when you click on the link, it opens in a new tab so the kids have access to it. You don't have to use any paper. You don't have to print it out. The kids have access to it there. So you just put that content there. It opens up right in here. You don't have, I'm gonna talk really fast. Okay, so they just go there anyway. The big deal with that is though, since they're clicking between links, you got to make sure they got like a whiteboard or something, because the question is, name the volcano. If they spell it incorrectly, they don't move on. They do not move on at all. And the name is a Hawaiian name, Kilauea. So if they get any of those vowels mixed up, it won't let them move on. So I'm going to go over here. Since I created that one, I just wanted to let you know, when you create it, you just go into Google Drive, you just right click, you create form, you select form. So if you're in Drive, you create form, you title your form because most of us are familiar with it. You just title it, you just add a section. That's how you get different pages. That's how you make sure they move on to the next section. And then after the section, you can just make sure it goes to the next section and then submit form. That's how it goes. You can add in the images. To get this image here, I just went onto like Google and got an image of a California map, and I just snipped it to get them to make the map. Took me maybe like 30 minutes to make it. And so all together, so the final one, when they finally get it, they'll get the whole map all together. So you'll see on the final one, they get the whole map. And it's, you did it. Now the National Guard has the map Sacramento. So they'll get like a confirmation message. You did it. You escaped the room. You've finished the activity. What questions do we have? None. I know. I talked really fast. It's only 10 minutes and we could just talk forever, right? Oh, you want to know how we could do it for the little ones? I know I have like literally 1 minute left. Okay. So that was first grade, super in depth, right? Because you can use it to like huge, big activities. Second grade, hit it to your stuff. Kindergarten, you're like, oh my gosh, what do you mean for kindergarten? Quick, missing pet, you read it to them and it's just beginning sound. Here's how I would change it, because I just threw it together really fast, just the letter. If I wanted to change it, I would put a picture of my sound spelling card. That's the only difference I would make for this, just to make it a little bit easier. But they just click on it, boom, 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 just 3, 4, and then they saved that they found the pet. They get to the end, they found the pet, yay, easy. And so now kindergarten can do it. And that is the end, really. That basically, the rest of my slides just helps you create your own. It just walks you step by step. So if you want to create your own, this will take you step by step on how to do it and all the different things. But that's it.
Lauren, thank you so much. I love your lens. I love your lens
Oh,
with
my
tech.
speaker.
Just because we often think of tech being up in the upper grades, but our little guys need to get their digital literacy skills up too. And your examples were so fun. I saw a lot of really good discussion in the chat. Someone mentioned using the Moat extension to do like audio files with some of the storylines, which is really exciting. And there's a reason, right? There's a reason digital escape rooms have been around forever, right? They've been around for a while, but there's a reason they're still here. And it's because they're so intriguing to students. It's this whole storyline experience. So you modeled that for, K2 beautifully. I was even thinking, some teachers I've heard like, well, I don't know how to come up with the story. Like AI people, AI, go to AI, have it write you the story. It gives you the text, and then hop into Lauren's slide deck to see how to do the autocorrect, because it can be, there's a couple little, functions and things you need to put in there. But Lauren, this is great. Thank you so much for sharing. We are in our last 2 presenters, and I am so excited. Next up, we have Dr. Amber Wilton. And while she's setting up her screen, I'm going to go ahead and lay some context for her background. So Dr. Amber Wilton is also a 2nd grade teacher, one of a younger kids teachers at Coliseum Street Elementary in Los Angeles Unified School District. She brings big energy, big heart, and even bigger booklet vibes to her classroom. She's all about making learning fun, building student confidence, and sneaking in some serious skills, one question set at a time. So Dr. Amber Wilton with a platform called Blookit. Take it away.
All right, good afternoon. I know you guys are getting tired, but I have something for you. So the challenge I have is a 2nd grade teacher. We do mandatory data chats at my school. My students are exceptional in reading, but math has been a struggle. And I found out that most of my kids really didn't know how to regroup. So I didn't want to keep teaching the same thing. So I was like, I am going to gamify my classroom. Now I use this in a different program, but the program I want to show you did not meet the criteria because it's not free, but my school pays for it, which is Peer Practice. But this one is the freest version I could find that was equivalent to it and that my kids love at the same level. Okay, so here we go, Brooklet. Once again, I'm a proud 2nd grade teacher, but I support all of our STEM programs at our school, computer science and esports, and now robotics this year as well. Okay, so we're going to do our objectives. So first, I'm going to walk you through on how to use the platform. I'm going to talk about the basics, like what is Blookit, and then how to set up and run a game. And then I'm going to tell you book it in action and then tips for classroom use. Just so you're not going to get it all now, but just so that I go over it front load before we actually dive into a live game. Continuing, what is Blookit? Blookit is a free online platform, has educational games based on your content. Look, if you're, for me, some days I make my own game set, and other days I use another teacher, crowdsource people, use other teachers are brilliant and have great ideas, and you don't have to do all this work. Make your life easy. It's very similar to Kahoot, but it talks about strategy and it has different levels of engagement, and you can change what I like different, like than Quizlet and other things. There are different games that you have. 3 are free to the user. There are others if you pay, but don't pay for anything. Just use what's free because we pay enough for our students. It's great for review, formative sets, and independent practice. I will be 100% honest with you. My kids sneak. So my kids think they're not learning when they're sneaking to use it. If I set up a game set for them, but they don't know that the trick is like, it'll be like, oh, you can't play today. And they're sneaking it. But I'm logging everything in. So it's great to know that. Sorry. Okay. All right. So it's great for practice, independent practice. And then we're going to go on and clicks. So teacher dashboard overview. I'm going to drop a link. You don't have to go there now. And they will also share the PowerPoint with you. I'm just giving it to you if you don't If you don't see it now, you will get it later, but I like to front load so you know what it is. It seems simple, but just whenever you're looking at it late at night, looking at papers, you might forget. This is a basic website. It's easy to get to. It goes through your school browser. You create a teacher account. If you try to use your Google platform, depending on your district, it might not let you use like signing in using Google Sign In. Just create a basic account. Okay, use it the same, set up the same way you would set up if it was Google, and just use it in that format. Okay. And then from your dashboard, they have a teacher dashboard like all of our other platforms have. You can create sets of questions. You can browse public sets. To me, that's the greatest thing because there is a plethora of things in the public. I mean, you want to review it first to see that it's appropriate for your students, and then you can launch games from that dashboard. Then you get to create a booklet set. So you can create your own set. Like some people are just that teacher, I got to use my own thing, or I need to tailor to my specific curriculum, and you could do any subject. The sky is the limit. It's open to what you need. You have two formats that you can choose. You can do a multiple choice test, or you can do true false, and you can even import from Quizlet or use sets that others have made. Save and name your set clearly so it's easy to find. That would be a tip, because if you just say math 1, math 2 might not be so easy. So, you need to think about your nomenclature when you're doing that, just based on my prior experiences. And then launching a game. So you just choose a set. So either you make your own set that you have your own database, or you choose one that's pre-made based on your topic. And then you choose the game mode. They have different titles. I will show you soon. Match, tower, grid. And then you can adjust the game settings. Like for today, I'm going to adjust the game settings to a limited time because my time is short here. You can randomize questions. You can enable power-ups or team play. And I love the team play because at my school, we are a Leader in Me school. And I really want the kids not to be so competitive because it can be very competitive in second grade. But I want them to have this sense of team that we're working together to build our knowledge. And that's really empowered my students this year. Then we have like the student experience. Students can go to booklet/play. It's real simple, doesn't require a lot. You can put a link in your school's LMS platform. I mean, my kids are pretty much techies. They type it in, you'd be surprised. I figured if they can go to YouTube, they can go to anything. I mean, my kids are really good. And what I do, I have Apple Tech, so I have a Genius Bar. They can go to Genius Bar in my class. They can get one of them to help them if they can't log in. Usually it's a new student that hasn't been with me. It's real simple. They have a game code. Once they go to the website, they enter it in. I love it. No login cards. Real simple. And it also teaches our students to learn how to interact with online platforms. I think that's a skill a lot of our kids need in this digital platform that they don't get a lot because they get used to, especially in my school district, we use a lot of QR codes. So one of my standards for my class, you have to be able to log in with your credentials. And you can use a QR code, if it's your first week, but I graduate you out the QR codes. I think that's important for our students that they're able to navigate passwords. And then you can see live feedback in your dashboard as on the teacher platform, not from the student. So they also can see feedback from their others as well. And then we will go to, so in the live game monitoring, so put your teacher lens back on, students can see their progress, accuracy, engagement in real time. End the game at any time or review results. So like, let's say there was a fire drill, I didn't get to it. Boom, I end the game. They're still a winner. They still get their, like they're concluding because this happened where I'm like, oh, I have 10 minutes. And then someone came in and talked to me. So that's great. And it's great assessment checks. And it also gives me, I can look real quick. I can see who didn't get it. I know who next day I can pull them for a pull-out group, whatever skill that I'm specifically working on. All right. So, oh, I lost that bar. Okay. So then tips for classroom success. Like anything, you want to make sure you have set norms. If you use headphones, because sometimes it can be loud, expectations for behavior, like what do we do when someone doesn't get something right? Those type of things are important because you still want to maintain a positive learning environment for your students. I use them as brain breaks. I sneak in a lot of them in. Or reward because they think it's a reward, but really I'm just getting more teaching and they just think it's a reward. I trick them all the time. Secret learning. Consider using it during stations or independent time. So I've set that up. Like if I have a volunteer in my room, like a parent volunteer, it's great because they feel like they're using an app and doesn't require, I don't need them to be an expert to be there. So it's a really good resource for that. And they can co-create questions with students is something that I started now. So like my kids, like today they were like, we need to have one about the expectations for the last 20 days of school. And they came up with their own little quiz and they gave it out. So teachers get an opportunity to be the teacher. And especially for my gifted students, it gives them an opportunity to feel like they're like, can I run it today? I'm like, sure, that's all right. I can do something else. Great. So it works. So as you build that capacity, students have that as well. And then troubleshooting and support. If you have tech issues, usually you just refresh or have the students join in. It's low Rarely do I have an issue, but sometimes, the internet is the internet. It will happen. And then it does have in the website on the teachers, and it does have a frequently asked section and an educator community. So whatever you have out there, somebody will come and, help you out. And then it works best on Chromebooks and tablets. So not too much on desktops, but on tablets and Chromebooks, it works excellently. So that's just if you need to know that. And then now we are time to play a game. Can I get a time check? I wasn't paying attention because I wanted to put some more time in the game. I'm gonna stop my share. Do you know how much did you put in?
You have 2 more minutes. You can go
Perfect.
ahead. Yeah, yes.
I'll make a 2-minute game. All right. So hold on. Let me see. Let me go back to here, share. Let me go back to this one. Hold on. Let me exit out of here. Always don't want to exit. There it goes. Host booklet. So I'm gonna host it right now. Hopefully the sound's not too loud. And then the website there, I'm gonna drop in the chat. You can join in with the put a link in the chat for you. The booklet, but if you go to play booklet, you need to go to booklet. All right, we're coming in. And I'm gonna give you like maybe 30 seconds. I'm just gonna do a couple questions. I like it just randomly, so especially for my kids. In my class, I have a group class that have autism, so it does help them a lot that they get it on. That is a good feature. I'm gonna start the game. I'm sorry if you didn't get in. I left the picture so you can join it. The information is still up there. It's already there for you. I just turned the music down a little bit. So you can see that it's jumping fishes a little bit. It changes right in real time. So I'm going to wrap it up just to give you a feel. This one was on self-care because I thought with just teacher appreciation would be a good topic for us to think about because that's one area every teacher that I know, including myself, needs to work on is self-care. Okay. So I am going to end the session right now just to give you a gist. You're welcome to play. It's real easy. Play in the staff meeting, play with kids. It is a really good opportunity and it's low cognitive load on the teacher and the students. Okay. Thank you so much. And I'm going to stop my share.
Thank you, Dr. Amber. That was so fun. Lookit is one of those tools that I've been meaning to try out. And so this was perfect. It was so great to get your insider tips on how to manage that in a classroom setting, and then also a chance to get to play. Mine recommended sleep, so I think I can manage that. Okay, and you're getting lots of appreciations in the chat, so thank you so much for sharing Lookit with us. We are going to turn it over to our last duo, which is Gloria Amador and Desiree Treat, and they're going to show us, they're going to end out our EdTech Playground today with AI-infused brain breaks. So I'm so lucky that I get to introduce them both.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, Gloria. It's almost your turn. We're ready for you. I'm just going to give a little background information. All right, Gloria Amador works at LAUSD and is a Sally Ride Kinder/STEAM lead teacher. She loves tech in learning because it empowers young minds with purpose and play, turning curiosity into creation, where every line of code sparks confidence, transforming classrooms into launch pads where K-5 students code, collaborate, and are nurtured into innovative change makers, ready to lead and craft the future with courage, compassion, and conviction. And she is joined by her colleague, Desiree Treat, also from LAUSD. All right, LAUSD in the house, represent. Linda, she is a Linda Marquez biology/health teacher, And she loves tech and learning because it transforms classrooms into spaces of critical thinking, creativity, and inclusive innovation, where students solve real-world problems. So we are so lucky to share the stage with them today. They're going to be talking with us about AI-infused brain breaks. Take it away, Gloria and Desiree.
All right, it is our honor. Let's make sure we can get it up and running. And do we see the slide deck yet?
Not yet.
Okay. See, it says loading on my
Okay.
screen. Let us hope it loads away.
The suspense.
The suspense. Not
Yeah.
yet? No? Should I
Not
try one more
yet.
time?
Okay.
Okay, I will try one more time because I thought I did it just right. Let me click and share.
There we
Oh,
go.
we're in business. We are in business. Getting somewhere, okay? I see the little one, and we're coming to the big one. And here we go. Let me get it nice and big for all the eyes, big and small to see. Loading, loading, loading. And welcome, change makers and champions of curiosity. Today, we invite you to step into a future-forward classroom where we focus meets fun and artificial intelligence meets authentic connection. In an age shaped by rapid technological shifts and endless information, our students don't just need to learn, they need to learn how to pause, process, and power up with purpose. Desiree, do you want to jump in? I will jump in for Desiree until she's able to unmute. With our AI-infused brain break framework, we are reimagining what it means to reset the mind, whether it is translating vocabulary into visual thinking with Google Quick Draw, thinking fast on our feet through sketching, or setting our emotions to music with Chrome Music Lab Kandinsky, where color changes tone and tone changes mood. These moments guided by animated AI companions are more than just breaks, they're bridges between attention and imagination, between technology and trailblazing. So our goal today is to cultivate classroom where AI is not just a tool, it's your teammate, a creative partner that sparks growth, mindset, emotional intelligence, and courageous confidence. It nurtures deep thinking and invites every learner to present, to be playful and prepared for the world that's going to help shape them. It isn't about brain science, it's about heart work. So let's infuse our daily routines with curiosity, connection, and a touch of that AI magic. Let's press play on possibilities. Let's get our brain breaks in bite-sized bursts and bring the future into focus one joyful pause at a time. Let's see if my buddy can take over. Is she able to unmute?
So,
All right.
Gloria, we checked the participant list here, and we're not seeing Desiree in there.
She got disconnected?
She might have.
Oh no, because she was there the whole time. She had like a little kitty. I will keep going. Oh,
You're doing great, Gloria. You're doing great.
Oh, the brain breaks will show. Focus, fun, and future forward learning with AI in tow. So I'm Gloria, and my buddy is Desiree Treat. She is the daughter of my best friend of 20 years. So I'm honored to be her mentor in her first year of journeying into infusing computer science with her high schools and budding up with my kinder and fifth graders. So we're here to light the way, introducing AI brain breaks for students of all ages to learn and play. We'll demo it first, tell you how and why, and then we'll try it out. Watch the learning amplify. Okay, so we're going to select our top 3 teacher brain breaks where we pause, play, and power up. And we also had our students vote, and they chose their favorites, and we're going to highlight them for you today. So one quick thing, Notebook LM is free and available to all educators. And so all you do, there's 5 steps in the notes. If you follow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and give yourself 5 minutes, you can listen to our podcast and you can make your own podcast. For our audio, chosen learners who love learning by listening, you can turn any presentation, any lesson plan into an audio podcast for them to master the standards. And so there are 95 brain breaks. Our favorite number 1 is Google Quick Draw because it's a lesson and a brain break all in one. Number 2 is Chrome Music Lab. There's 14 to choose from. We're going to pick Kandinsky and we'll tell you why. And Google Arts and Culture. Today, there are 80. Okay, combining artists with computer scientists for a beautiful fusion, and our students selected from there their favorites.
And so we invite you to also check out Google Auto Draw because drawing means to remember. Remember, we remember 10% of what we read, 20% of what we hear, 30% of what we see, 50% of what we see and hear, 70% of what we say, and 90% of what we say and do. So there's a QR code to go to Auto Draw at your leisure if you'd like to review our slide deck. You know, you can go through all 95 and pick your favorites. Hopefully you agree with our selection, but you might not, and that's okay. And our number one selection is drumroll Google Quick Draw. Because like I said, first up it's Quick Draw. It's 20 seconds to show a cat, a son, how fast can you go? It's literacy in action, visual play, where sketches reveal what words might say. So we're going to log off the presentation. If it all works beautifully, perfect. And we're going to go to Quick Draw and we're going to tell you why we love Quick Draw. Okay, if you go to the bottom left right here, it has 15 different languages. So this can be used in a dual language classroom to practice vocabulary. Okay. If you click on the question mark in the top left corner, click question mark, it explains to you what this game is all about. And there's this video that you can demo and show to your kids and explains exactly how they train the AI. The two original creators of this project, Google Quick Draw, come out and they talk about what is the nexus and their vision and how it's become just phenomenal. And then we can click off that and come into the game. And what the game is, 6 vocabulary cards, 20 seconds. So it's a really short brain break. And we're going to try it live right here. Let's draw. And the AI, oh, let's draw a chair. So you can pause and think, take that moment to pause and think. And then when you're ready, you hit the green button. I'm going to use the trackpad. So I'm going to do the best that I can. And AI will be talking you through and see if it guesses what you draw. So here we go. Let's see if it can guess. I'm going to go with straight. I'm going to do a simple side view chair and see if it can guess it. Ah, it's a chair. All right. I might not have had my talking feature on. Oh, there it is. It's chair. Okay. The playback is a little slow. So I'm going to jump over here to one that I already, ooh, let me see. I'm going to jump over here. Oh, it messed up. I thought I had one already prepared with all 6. Okay. Let's do water. Let's play it through then. All right. We can erase if you want to change your mind. I can do a glass of water. And I can do squiggle right here. Water. So you got to think of the visual clue. Crown. So I had one already prepared, but I can go through it quickly. Okay. 6 cards, 20 seconds. So fast and short. I'm old school television. Okay. I'm gonna purposely miss on this one. Some kind of instrument. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't. Well, they got an instrument, but we didn't get quite the trombone. So it's okay to make a mistake and not get it perfect. We'll let that one slide. That's okay. Sometimes it doesn't get, sometimes it does. All right. So once they've drawn all of them, you can study the ones you got right, or let's study the ones I got wrong. So I'm going to go down here and it says, oh, the Great Wall of China, a clarinet, or a train. But what is a trombone really look like? And those are the details that you need. And these are all the boys and girls and teachers who played the game and moving on and on and on and on and on and on forever. So what you are doing by playing Google Quick Draw today is you are participating and educating the AI, giving it data and being part of the world's largest doodle data sets. And then you can click over here and it'll get you the code because it's open source. If you have high school students who want a computer program, you can go to the source code itself. But back to the presentation we go. So that is why it's our favorite. And we're going to go to our second favorite. And our second favorite here, we'll leave it on the small view. Next up, let's listen. Your drawing makes sound. In Chrome Music Lab Kandinsky, your doodles dance around. Just sketch and click. The music will play where art meets emotion in a magical way. Change colors, hear tones. Each shade has a feel. You're learning through sound in a way that is real. So here on Chrome Music Lab, 14 to choose from, but Kandinsky is our favorite. And all it is, you can give the students a 2-minute, 3-minute, 4-minute, 5-minute brain break and just start drawing. So make sure it reloads. Waiting for it to reload. And you can see a little button right here. We're waiting for it to reload. And wait. When you get the button on the bottom, then you know it's ready to go. We're waiting. Come on, internet, cooperate with us today. Yep, we are ready to go. I'm going to give myself a little sun because I'm feeling sunny. And I'm going to give it, ooh, oh, that's sun is just gonna burn us up and we're gonna enjoy our time. Summer is coming. I'm gonna be at the ocean and the beach. I'm gonna give myself a little umbrella. I'm gonna hide under that umbrella. We could even write words if you wanted to. So my kinder students do their CVC words. You can write their name and draw their name to art. And then I'll show you where the magic begins. Here we go. Music. And then I can change the colors. Here I go. I'm gonna change the colors. Brighter, happier, brighter tones. One more time. Kids love it. We love it. They agree that this is among our favorites. Back to the presentation we go. So we highlighted, let me go to big screen on this one now. We highlighted our top two, which is Google AI because of the fact that it has a mini lesson within it. Chrome Music Lab because it has diversity with 14 to choose from, Kandinsky being our favorite, putting art to music. It's beautiful. And then the ones that we chose would be Google Arts and Culture XYZ. Google Arts and Culture, like I said, has 80, but this is one of our favorite because we can play it with our coding buddies. Can you guess the word it hides in view? Google AI gives clever clues just for you. With telltale fonts, the design is a key. Each tile's topography reveals what the word might be. So it's a way to kind of play Scrabble. And if you see that little X one, it looks like a donut shape and it was spelling out the word donut, right? So count the tiles to know how many letters you need, then spell it out right in Culture XYZ with speed. There's QR codes to enter the game right away. Our kinders voted, and we did sort of like a rotation system. So they didn't get to play all 85 games, but we kind of modeled a few and they got to be in a rotation. They got to play 3 from Google Arts and Culture, and then they presented their favorite, and then everybody presented their favorite, and they got to choose 3 more. So they ended up playing 6 out of the 80. And the kinders said this is the best because it reminded them of playing with Play-Doh. And so they undo the Play-Doh, right? And then it reveals a monument or a place somewhere around the world, and they get to spin the globe of the world and find a place. And then you get an actual artistic rendering of the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. And then you can click on it and you can go through like VR and like walk on the bridge. It drives the kids crazy and they love it. And then our 5th graders recommended What's the Art? And why they love this is because you don't have to be in the same room. You don't have to be in the same state. If I give you a code by texting you or telling you on Zoom what the code is, you can log in and we can play. It's like Pictionary, but with artistic work. So you're given a card to recreate, like you see right here, the girl with the pearl earring, right? And then you recreate it and your friend has 10 cards. And as you're drawing, your friend has 10 cards to choose from. You're trying to create a beautiful masterpiece. And then they'll guess which one it is. And then you switch. If you don't have a buddy to play with the AI and they will be your buddy. And then our 9th and 12th graders voted this one, Say What You See. And this is like learning how to be a prompt engineer, which is a powerful tool and skill that they need. So they step into a world where AI describes the image. They will give you a picture and you have only 120 characters, like an old tweet, right? To describe in detail. So I gave my description of this image and I got an 84% match. So I advanced to the next level and then I describe it with enough detail. And then you can be as detailed, like, as you know, this is a statue. This is a bronze statue. Do you know the type of art it is, you know? So you can be as clear and as detailed as you want. So it can work across a little bit better for the older students who know more of the art terms, but can work for everybody. And what we did, we tried it to see if the littles could do it, and the littles did do it. They looked at the picture and their 12th grade buddies were their like typists and translators, and the kinders would talk and the seniors would type, and then they hit the button and let's try it again. 50% match. Do you want to get higher? Do you want to get, can you get to 100? That is the challenge. And then as a gift to everybody, we put together a little intro to AI lesson for you. And so we have some poems because you notice we love the rhyme. In kinder, we love that rhyme. We have some unplugged activities, and this is one of our favorites. So this can be a great icebreaker at the beginning of the year. Just go outside, grab a spool, and then make a statement that is true. I am a younger sister. Okay. And raise your hand if you are a younger sister, and you toss it to all the kids. And then the last kid who has the string will make a true statement. And then they toss it around. And once everyone has had a chance to speak, look around. How many connections do I have to me and Desiree? Ooh, 5. Me and Tawny, 3. And so as we go throughout the year, we hopefully will increase the number of connections we have. And it looks like a neural network. And it's a fun, unplugged activity that's kind of spread those little tentacles. And our district loves it, and they all do it. And then we can change up the prompt. Instead of doing like an icebreaker at the beginning of the year, you can change it and infuse it with content standards. And then we have classic KWL. We have some edgy protocols. We're fans too. We have Sketch and Tell, Fast and Curious, Frere model, what we love. And then we have some Canva, or you can do it on Adobe. We have the Mother's Day portraits that we did. We have future ready reflections that we did. So our kids see themselves as engineers and scientists and teachers, whatever they imagine there to be in the future. We did one, we're going to do one, not yet. We did one. Nope, I haven't done it. We're going to do one in June for Father's Day, and we're going to do one for graduation day. So it's more empowering about all they have learned, all they have accomplished. They're superheroes. We've curated a couple questions for you, and we curated the top 5 AI videos under 5 minutes just for you, with the links and everything. And then we have some think, pair, share ideas. We have them broken down for kinder, lower elementary, high school. And then we say think, ink, pair, share, mix it around a little bit and give your own definition. After they watch the videos and gone through all these activities with EduProtocol, KWL, they need to come up with their own, in their own words, to empower themselves and take ownership of what is artificial intelligence in their own words. For kinder, 3rd or 5th, and then high school, this is just a nice simple one. For kinder, we give you some reference articles. This is a good one for high school. We gave you some reference articles, and then it comes to the end full circle. And so we want to thank you for championing EdTech in the K-12 classroom. And a little food for thought. We're going to just end with one quick question. We gave you a 3-question quiz. We're just going to do the last question. We're going to do the last question. Okay, we're going to do question 3. The ultimate matchup, brain versus computer. Computers can solve problems better and faster than humans, but only after humans train the machines to use artificial intelligence. So keep that in mind. So here's the question. Scientists have developed a supercomputer that can rival the human brain. Question mark. Do you believe that to be true, or do you believe that to be false today on May 13th? What do you guys think? 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 I don't know if I can hear everybody. Somebody'd like to unmute. What do you think? What do you think? Oh, true. I see them in the chat. I see. And
Gloria, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. You are just a well of knowledge. We've got a couple more things we have to wrap.
Sorry. The answer was no. The answer was no. Even with all the hard work, there's no supercomputer that can rival the brain. And that was it. Thank you so much. We want to say gratitude and esteem to our amazing mentors. And we leave you. We cheated. We can't do a 6-word memoir. We did an 8-word memoir empowered by EdTech Playgrounds, paying it forward. Thank you. We're done.
Thank you, Gloria. I hate cutting you off. We just have so many resources. You know, again, Stephanie mentioned before, all of these resources we're going to be collecting and putting them on our TIN website and sending them out to you. But there are a couple just nuts and bolts we want to wrap up for our EdTech Playgrounds. Sarah has dropped our reflection Padlet, and I'm going to go ahead and just quickly share my screen so we can wrap up here. And we'd love to hear just your feedback from today. So definitely hop into that. And then Sarah, I'm going to turn the last couple slides over to you if that's all right.
Yes, that works. Okay, thank you so much, Tawny, and thank you so much to all of our presenters. Everyone did an amazing job, amazing presenters. You all just brought it home for us for our last session together this school year. So just a round of silent applause for our amazing presenters. Thank you for being here. And yes, we just had a few links that we popped in the chat. Our closing thoughts Padlet, we all always like to look back on those to see everyone's takeaways and what helped them during our session. And so that'd be great if you could fill that out in the Padlet. And then our Strong and Mighty Facebook group, I think the EduProtocol's Facebook group this week surpassed 22,000 members. We're right behind them with I don't know, a few hundred. So join the Facebook group. The link is in the chat, and it's a great space to support each other around EdTech. And then the other link was the link to our website. So are we having everyone register just to make sure that they're in an email group for next year's, or how are we doing that?
Yeah, great question, Sarah. Sorry. So I think this is, if you're interested in just staying informed about our next year, you can go ahead and click on that registration link. We're going to email you anyways, because we got your name and your email now, and we're going to just let you know what we're doing next year. But that is a great way to get onto our email list. So thanks for that, Sarah. And then if you are a Playground Pro, if you could just hang around while we drop the sign out link into the chat. You can get signed out. But everyone else, thank you so much for attending today. We just have loved having you with us for the 24-25 school year. I hope the last couple weeks wrap up nicely for everyone and that you just go into your summer ready to rest. Because rest up, because we got a lot for you coming, in the 25-26 school year from EdTech Playground. So thank you so much. Have a good night. If you're Playground Pro, we're dropping in that link to get signed out. And also, I am Playground Pros. Again, if you're not a Playground Pro, feel free to sign out or hang out with us. That's fine. But Playground Pros, I've had some questions about stipends, and we can talk a little bit more about it next week at our final celebration Zoom. But I just wanted to let you know that the CDE Foundation, those who fund our stipends, kind of gave me a rundown of when the stipends will be paid out. Just so you know, if you haven't received them yet, it's because they haven't been sent yet. They are coming. Again, feel free to email me with questions, but we will talk about that in depth next Tuesday, just so you fully understand when the stipends are headed your way. Otherwise, have a good night, everyone. Thank you again to all of our presenters.